Hi guys, welcome to the blank canvas tutorial part of the Little Joy Box. This little canvas is 5 by 7 and it's blank for a reason because we're going to do some sketching and draw something that reminds us or what we think about when we think about Halloween. Maybe it's your favorite thing, maybe it's your favorite costume. Maybe it's your favorite character, favorite animal. Maybe it's your favorite candy. So you can do whatever you want here. So take a few seconds and think about what you want to draw. And then we're going to draw it on with our pencils and then we will paint it. When I think of Halloween, I think of pumpkins. So I'm going to draw a couple pumpkins and we'll get started. So I'm going to take us over to the overhead camera. So let's go to the overhead so we can see everything that's happening. Remember, these are just guides. And so as you're painting, if you want to switch it up or do something different, feel free to let your creativity come out and paint however you want. So I've got my pencil here and I've got my canvas, and you can put your canvas long way, which is called landscape, or you can turn your canvas and go tall, which is called portrait. Either way works. For mine, I'm going to go landscape or long and paint a couple pumpkins. So the first thing that I want to do is draw a surface or ground that the pumpkins are going to sit on. So I'm going to start by drawing just a line across the bottom of my canvas. I'm going to make it a little bit darker so you can see. And pumpkins are round, so I'm going to draw a couple circles. And it's okay if you're making a pumpkin and your circle isn't perfect, because pumpkins aren't a perfect circle anyways. They're just kind of a circle. So the next thing I'm going to do is draw another pumpkin, but this one's going to be a little smaller. So I'm going to put one right next to my big pumpkin, and we'll do a littler pumpkin. And that one turned out a little more square than round. But again, that's okay because pumpkins are all different shapes. So the next thing about a pumpkin then is the stem that sticks out. So that's just a rectangular shape. So we can just come from the top of the pumpkin and draw a rectangular shape. That one's going to go straight up. Now this one I'm going to have point to make a little crooked. So I'm going to point it the other way. And he's got a crooked stem. Okay? So once you've got your item sketched out using your pencil, we can start painting. All right, so the bottom, for the pumpkins, I'm going to choose orange. And pumpkins can be white. Have you ever seen a white pumpkin? Pumpkins can be green. There's green pumpkins out there. I've seen kind of a pinky pumpkin. There's all sorts of different colors of pumpkins. So really you could paint yours however you want. But again, it's all going to depend on what you sketched. You can sketch whatever it is you want. Maybe you've sketched your favorite candy bar. Maybe you've sketched your favorite costume, a bat, haunted house, all sorts of different things. Okay. So I'm going to use my medium brush because this is a smaller painting and I don't need a big brush to fill in my pumpkins. So I'm going to start with my medium. I'm going to dip it in the orange and just start filling in my orange pumpkins. So I'm super excited to see what you guys paint. What your favorite part of Halloween is. you'd like to share a picture of your art, there's a special place that you can do that. You'll have to ask your a grown up or a parent if that's okay to do. But it's on your insert that you have where you can share your special paintings. There we go. So the other thing about a pumpkin is the brown stem, and we don't have brown, but we could make a brown. I'm going to get a little bit of brown orange on my brush here, and I'm going to just dump it out onto the palette. So I've just got just a tiny bit of orange here, and then I'm going to go grab some black. So I'm going to open up my black pot here, and whoops, I'm going to go and dip a little bit of black and mix it with my orange right here. We don't need too much black because we don't want it to be too dark, but it's going to give us something that's really close to a dark brown, which then I can use to fill in my stems. So if you're looking to get a brown, you can use orange and black together. There we go. All right, I'm going to wash my brush now. And we're going to switch colors. I'm going to grab the green. Since I want to have a green ground for my pumpkins to sit on. So we're going to fill in this bottom area that we drew for the ground in green. If you are drawing something else, you might have a different ground, or maybe you have a black table that your item is sitting on, or maybe they're sitting on an orange table. There we go. Okay, and at this point you could be done, but I'm gonna do a purple sky. So it's almost like it's a dark night. And so we're gonna bring out some purple. And I'm going to flip my card or my canvas around so that I can focus on the top part of my painting. I'm going to grab some purple and just go back and forth. It's a dark night. You can even add and blend a little bit of black in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this whole sky with purple. Carefully work my way around my pumpkins. Remember, there's no rush. You can go slow and take your time. We're filling it all in with purple to start with, and then I'm going to show you how we can blend another color in so that we have a dark area in the sky. Okay, we've got our purple laid down. Now I'm going to dip my brush into the black, just a tiny, tiny little bit of black, And I'm going to start to blend it at the top, and look how that makes my sky look dark. And just blending it. Now that purple is still wet, so we're actually getting a dark purple. And I'm just going to start to move some of that black down into my sky here. I'm not going to go all the way. I just want the top of my sky to look dark. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to wash my brush. And I'm going to turn my art back around. Now the other thing that we can do is we could add a moon in the background. We could add a bat flying back there. We could add some clouds. We could add a face onto our pumpkins. Whatever you wanted to do. Now, before I add the moon up here, if I wanted to, I'd want to make sure that this was dry. So when we're putting paint on top of paint, if we don't want it to mix or blend, we have to really make sure that our paint is dry. And we're going to let this sit for just a second. You can have a snack, you can go grab something to drink, and we're just going to wait. Okay, coming back to your art, we're going to tap it and make sure it's dry. If it's dry, we're ready to put our moon in. So I'm going to pull out my white. And I'm going to use my medium brush. And I'm going to draw a moon up here. And I'm going to do a full moon, which means the moon is at the biggest, widest point we're seeing it. So it's a full circle, but you could do a crescent moon or a partial moon. And there we go. Wash my brush. And there is our little canvas art ready to be displayed and shown to everybody. So in your starter kit, remember you have a small stand. You're going to slot together, and then you can display your art just like that so that everyone can see it. So I encourage you to share or keep your art, put your name on the back, put the date, make sure that your art is dry before you flip it over and start writing on it. But you can keep these, and it's a fun way to see what we've done in the past. Okay. So I hope you had fun with your tiny little canvas art, and use it to decorate for the holiday season wherever in your home. So we will chat with you later in the next video. Bye guys.